How's it going, everyone? Got a lot to go over in this video. The PlayStation Plus Essential title should be revealed tomorrow. Surprisingly, no leak as of yet. It could happen right before the drop of the games, but we'll talk about that briefly. On top of that, we have a major update on Sony and Bungie. Bungie seemingly is laying off quite a bit of staff, and on top of that, they are delaying a couple of their titles. We'll go over all of that, and some major JRPGs are headed to PlayStation 5 in 2024, so we'll go over that at the end of this video. But first of all, PlayStation Plus titles for the Essential lineup should be revealed tomorrow. Surprisingly, no leak has dropped for the lineup. Usually, Deal Labs drops the titles a few days before the official announcement, but I would imagine that they are going to be coming, and Deal Labs may even leak the titles right before they drop. They have done that in the past. Bibliocoon has done that in the past, where it was like a couple hours before Sony made the official announcement, and then he got the heads up on that. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know what you guys want to see as the Plus titles for the month of November. You know, it's been a little bit of a lackluster string of PlayStation Plus in general with the monthly catalog updates. October was a pretty weak catalog update. The October Essential titles I thought were fairly decent. You know, Callisto Protocol, Weird West, but then you got like meme sim titles that I don't think people are all too excited about. Hopefully we get a nice lineup. I mean, I did our video of games I'd like to see. You know, maybe I pushed it a little bit too much with games like Dying Light 2, but I really don't see that being that tall of an order, given that, you know, the price point of Essential has increased. Why not offer more value? I get it that Sony, at the end of the day, they up the price so they can make more money, and the idea of spending money to get high-caliber games, maybe that's an idea that doesn't completely vibe with them, and they're too focused on live service development of games and all of that nonsense. But speaking of live service games, here's some super disappointing news coming from Jason Schreier. Destiny 2 developer Bungie is the latest PlayStation studio to have layoffs. Full scope isn't clear yet, but CEO Pete Parsons emailed the company this morning to say they'll be having a team meeting today to talk about some news today coming out of Bungie, as staff are informed. On top of that, it looks like Destiny 2, the final shape, has been delayed until June of 2024, while Marathon has been delayed until 2025. Now, I am interested. There's a lot of talk about Sony games as a service and them backing away from that model a little bit, and is this tied to that at all? I feel like that can't be the case, but very much a reason why PlayStation acquired Bungie is to facilitate the push of their live service agenda, so to speak, their live service mission, let's call it, and let's just say that mission hasn't seemingly worked out all too well. Last of Us Factions either in development hell or just straight up canceled. You see the reaction to games like Concord and Fair Game, and, you know, no slight on Concord or Fair Game at this point. Like, I'm not even hating on those games. I'm hating on Sony's handling of those games. Like, I don't know what happened in those board meetings or meetings on how to promote these games, how to reveal these games, but Sony is known for their big-budget single-player games. Their traditional single-player titles like a God of War, like a Spider-Man, Last of Us from a single-player standpoint, etc., etc. So you want to open up your big event of the year, PlayStation Showcase, with a CG trailer of a brand new IP from a studio not a lot of people are familiar with, for a game that, with that CG trailer, it doesn't tell us much about it, and then we just are told it's a live service game, Fair Game, yeah, get excited for it. How is that gonna make anybody excited for that game? What kind of nonsense was that? And I'm sorry that I keep going back to that PlayStation Showcase in June, but that was an abomination of all abominations, where they did, like, yeah, if you guys listen to me all the time, it might sound like I'm unfairly crapping on Fair Game and Concord, but I'm crapping on them for how Sony handled those games. Like, what kind of nonsense were those reveals from a live service standpoint? And I don't know if their live service model and their live service game plan kind of falling apart is also related to the Bungie layoffs, but you would have to think that they're somewhat connected, and one of the main reasons, again, that Sony acquired Bungie was for the help with their live service projects. But if they are going to step away from that a little bit, that is something to consider if they want to, you know, reorganize Bungie or whatever the case may be. And I don't know how Marathon's development is going. I'm sure Marathon will have some attention when it comes out in 2025, just because Bungie is a juggernaut of a studio and Marathon has a little bit of history. Destiny 2, you know, I haven't played it in years and years, but I have a buddy that's super into it, and he just constantly, you know, is up and down with it. Like, he'll never stop playing it, but he's constantly up and down with it. So, like, I don't know if that's just how the Destiny community is. But, yeah, Final Shape being delayed is also a bummer. But it's a February to a June delay by the looks of it. That's not the craziest thing in the world. It's 4 months, but the layoffs are a big deal. That's obviously a big issue, and that's not the first one. I believe it's Visual Works also had layoffs recently. So yeah, hopefully everybody finds their footing, and whenever you see layoffs in the gaming industry, it's always a sad thing, and it's happening a lot. I don't know if Bungie, it's a case of their games underperforming or anything like that, but you look at like an Ascendant Studios who put out Immortals of Aveum, and that game underperforming with a gigantic budget attached to it, and then a significant portion of that studio was laid off. I get it, that's kind of the thing in the gaming world, where a bunch of people jump from studio to studio, and once a project is done, layoffs do happen, people move on to new projects, etc., but it's still a really disappointing thing to see, and these games are just getting bigger and more gargantuan in terms of budget and the staff size, and then when they underdeliver, yeah, a little bit of trouble in paradise as far as that's concerned. But hopefully, again, everybody that's laid off finds their footing, and hopefully Sony gets a little bit of direction, because it really seems like this live service thing has been a gigantic fumble, and there's a lot of stories and a lot of nuances to this, and I don't even know what to believe. A lot of people are saying this is attached to Jim Ryan stepping down, when, you know, Jim Ryan did give a reason why he was stepping down that was unrelated to this, and then there have been other departures from Sony. I think, you know, everybody watching my channel, yes, I've been of the mindset Sony needs more multiplayer games. They need to focus on multiplayer projects. I did not say they need to go all in on this live service thing and throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, you know, 10, 20 live service games and hoping 1 or 2 stick. Let's be honest, that's the game plan with a lot of these companies. The Ubisoft knows very well. Let's throw as much crap at the wall. As long as 1 or 2 of those games stick, we're gonna make a fortune out of those live service titles. All I've been asking for is a Killzone 2 remaster. Like, yo, that's all I want. I don't want anything crazy. How much work does you gotta do to do a Killzone 2 remaster? That's literally all I want, and I will shut the hell up about multiplayer games until the community for a Killzone 2 remaster dies out. You know what? Do a Killzone 2 remaster, put it day 1 on PC, put it day 1 on Xbox, add some sort of microtransaction element to it if you need to do that, but damn it, that's all I want. I don't want no live service emphasis on PlayStation. I just want 1 or 2 quality multiplayer games. That's it. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get that, but the Killzone 2 remaster, I won't stop beating that drum until it actually happens. You guys know how I am. Lastly, I do want to note the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4 for PlayStation 5 are dropping on February 16th. Now, if you're wondering why it's just Cold Steel 3 and 4, I believe Cold Steel 1 and 2 were handled by a different publisher, so it's kind of disconnected in that regard. But Cold Steel 3 and 4 are games that I think you know, see a little bit of a mixed reception just because of their narrative direction. They're still high-quality games, in my opinion. I think they're great. Cold Steel 1 and 2 I thought were tremendous. Obviously, don't play Cold Steel 3 and 4 until you play 1 and 2, and the opinion for a lot of people is you gotta play all of the games sequentially, so you gotta start with the Sky Trilogy, and then you gotta play the Crossbell arc, and then you can jump into Cold Steel, but I know that's a daunting task, and, what's it called? The Sky Trilogy isn't even available on PlayStation, so yeah, good luck playing those. But if you have a PSP or a PS Vita, you can play it on there, or you can play it on a low-end PC. There is a Cold Steel 3 and 4 special edition that's available over at NIS's official website. It's only $100, which honestly, not that bad, all things considered, given everything you get with it. It looks like you get an art book, a map, some cards, and a collector's box, like $100 for that, and you get both games. Like, that's pretty decent, all things considered. The key details note, adventure begins. New to the Trails series, start your adventure with this dynamic combo pack and dive into the Legend of Heroes today. I really wouldn't recommend doing that, but, you know, it is what it is. Erebonian excellence, the land of Erebonia shines in high definition on PS5. Experience the beautiful surroundings like never before, and downloadable content bonus. Have your characters looking their best from head to toe with the included cosmetic DLC. So that is scheduled for a release in 2024, February 16th to be exact. But that is going to do it for me. Again, the Plus title should be revealed tomorrow. By the time you guys are watching this video, hell, a leak may have happened. So be on the lookout for that. Sad news coming out of Bungie, and it will be very interesting to monitor PlayStation and live service as a whole going forward. But the thing is, There has been so much investment towards live service that if they do have a shift in game plan, we're not really gonna see the fruits of that shift until, 2026, 2027, and that's when those titles are gonna be announced, if they are completely shifting away from live service, or at least doing some sort of shift. I don't know that to be the case, but it is gonna be something interesting to monitor, especially if the already announced titles don't turn out all too well. And Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4 for PS5 coming February 16th. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.